ask you a question. Would you risk breaking the law and risk a fine or maybe even jail for something that you really believed in? Now, it's something I've often thought about, and I hope I would. But I want to introduce you to someone in this short film from my 13 years at Odyssey, for whom that isn't even a question. He knows instinctively what to do. Winning 2 Purple Hearts in World War II tells you all you need to know about Arnold Abbott, who faced such a question back in 2014 when the town council issued a new ordinance which meant he either had to shut down his outreach to feeding the homeless on the beach at Fort Lauderdale or risk a fine or even prison. I think you can guess which choice Arnold made.
He comes out here for like 24 years now, every Wednesday on the beach and feeds us. Best food ever. I mean, it's gourmet, great, good food.
If anybody can prepare a decent meal the way that it should be presented to people, Mr. Abbott is the guy.
I started it in 1991 when I lost my beautiful wife, Maureen. And Maureen, the name of our organization is the Maureen A. Abbott Love Thy Neighbor Fund. It's in her name. Everything we do is in her name. She was the best human being I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Mr. Abbott 2.5 years ago came into my office and walked in and said, I just lost my kitchen. I have no place to cook, and I heard you have a kitchen. And it's like, well, of course we have a place for you. Of course we do. And we've had a great relationship ever since.
We've been doing it for 23 years. We started on the beach. We're still on the beach. Still scares me to think of how many pans of food we put out. This is nothing. We had to put out 5 times that amount of food every day. So we've done what we could to cooperate with the city, and they've done whatever they could to make life miserable for us and anybody else who feeds the homeless. Simple as that.
One of the issues that the city keeps bringing up, they keep saying things like, well, why can't you feed them at this other church or this other place? And the problem is that homeless don't have cars. Homeless are injured. The beach is a great place for a homeless person to try to survive. It allows them to take that next step of maybe getting back up on their feet, maybe getting some extra help, but at least until they make that next step, until they find that next step, they're at least fed and they're at least taken care of, and it's at least safe. The cooking starts on Monday, where everything is purchased and brought back in. On Tuesday, we start preparing the food and put into freezers at that point. And then on Wednesday, when we come in, get things warm, get things put into the warmers, and load the truck up and head down for feeding. And the same thing we do on Sunday.
We did our work and we did our cooking, and we're ready to go. All right, everybody. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us this time to meet together once again in an atmosphere of mutual respect and compassionate fellowship, each with the other. We are all equal. Nobody is better than anybody else. We are all your children, and we should love each other and be good to each other because that is your will. We have 3 entrees. We have tilapia. We have a beautiful ham and red cabbage dish.
I really appreciate the fact that Arnold does what he does. I walk down the beach and I have a meal free, and a very nice meal, I must tell you.
It's not too many people do things like that.
Delicious. It's the best meal of the week.
It's really good.
It's not only the homeless people. Anybody could come and eat. Anybody.
The ordinance went into effect on October 31st, Halloween, and immediately that Sunday we started feeding. And at that point, the city police were there, lights blazing, ready to arrest us. They did not handcuff us. I don't think they wanted that photograph, but they did cite us, and the police were embarrassed about it.
The police treated me extremely gently. I have no fear of their putting me in jail. Make me stop? A bullet right about here would help, or one here would help. I'm not going to stop. I promise as long as there's breath in my body, I'll continue to fight. I fought for the underdog all my life. My fate is the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. I believe that we're all brothers and sisters, all of us. I am my brother's keeper, and whatever little time I have left, I intend to
keep that up.
What a remarkable man. And Arnold Abbott continued feeding the homeless all the way through until his death in December 2019. And guess how he was honored? Yes, with a giant cookout on the beach at Fort Lauderdale, where everyone who'd been involved in the Love Thy Neighbor Fund over its 28-year history was invited. And Arnold's work lives on. Check out the Hope Shared Meals Project of Hope, South Florida, where the fund continues its work. And everyone can get involved somehow. Try and check out if there are any food banks where you live, and see if your congregation has any outreach to help feeding the homeless. And if not, well, think about starting one. And also check out more stories of inspirational people working with the homeless. You'll find them on Odyssey's YouTube site and our website. Faith in Action.